Okay, we are live right now. Let me just confirm whether our audio and video is in place. So welcome. If you're live with me, you can just shout out yes that you're in live. All right, cool. Seems like we are all live right now. And yes, it has been a madness weekend. And this has been on since last weekend as well because of Trump Park. And everybody knows over this weekend what is happening, right? For EOK, and we have Nawa Grove, as well as we have what Novo Place. So, of course, I'm not going to touch too much on the EC. I think everybody's mind is like, what is actually happening? There's this big question mark in a lot of people right now. Say how EOK has basically outperformed the entire economy, uh, outperformed every developers out there, and also the marketplace. So there's a lot of people looking at it and say that there are always two camps, like the way I see it. One is, are you sure or not? Really, so many people are buying the property. Is it developer buy one? Or the other camp is that you are very positive that this is the real situation of the market, and that's why you find that this is a bullish market moving forward, and you want to capture that situation. So type in the comment which side of the camp are you at? Are you at A, where you kind of like, is it really buyers out there? Are there really buyers who just buy? Are there too many rich people? Or you're in camp B where you are very positive that this is the actual what do you call it, statistics that actually real people are actually buying, and the market is turning the tide since the beginning of this year. All right, so comment below if you find. So today, right, what I would really want to kind of cover is, of course, with all this hype that everybody's talking about, so I think this video is going to rub off some shoulders here. Especially today, there will be some of you who may have gone for the balloting, and due to whatever reason, the queue number is not good, unfortunately, and you kind of very unhappy, like, oh, I want to buy, but the balloting did not go in my favor, so you couldn't buy anything, right? So of course, some of you, maybe you already went for the ballot, you get a good queue, and then end up you never buy. All right. So sometimes when we are sitting on the side fence, when we see other people have a chance to buy, then we will be like, yeah, they're all very heng, they can buy. But then when it's your turn that you actually are quite lucky to purchase, or actually you actually back out when the opportunity is in front of you. So this is why we are always seeing the different profiles of different buyers, different clients that we have worked with. And today I also want to kind of uncover a little bit to understand what actually happened and what goes behind your mind, so that this mistake, or should I say this FOMO situation, will not repeat by itself. All right, because if you don't learn from your mistakes and you keep repeating it, then the future launches, everything come back, it will be the same. So what we want to do is really kind of using this video, I'm going to deep dive into whether EOK's pricing, okay, whatever that has been sold, it has been splashed all over the papers, every social media is doing it. Is it safe? Is it good? Is it overhyped? And I'll also cover a little bit of the behavior of the buyers. And are there really so much demand? You see, is it because of the sentiment? Is it because the marketing campaign? Or is it just that there was a pent-up demand from the actual market in Singapore, that everybody is going a little bit cuckoo crazy, right? To just buy property, and overnight, we have such an overwhelming response for EOK. And later on, we're going to cover some fundamentals. Okay, so my role is always to look into why is this happening. So there are times where then when the market is not as rosy, my role is to find out why is this happening in the first place. Same thing as of these 2 weeks that we are getting so overwhelming response from Trump Park. Now with EOK, even Nava itself, it actually crosses my expectation in terms of the demand. So why is this happening? So I went actually to deep dive, and if you have been following me in some of my platforms, you do note that I actually speak this a lot, because this is the fundamental for property, right? And later on, we're going to cover a little bit. So let me just share my screen here and let's get started. So if you are here with me, right, you can just shout out a hi inside the chat, so that at least I know that somebody is actually watching it. Or if not, I'm always staring at myself, quite bored. Okay, let's just do this. All right, so of course, when we were launching this during then, right, you see that we have a so-called the day of the VIP for EOK, there was this 2,767 per square foot that was highlighted, and they bought a mid-floor unit. And so everybody was quite concerned, like, oh, if this is 2007, that means moving forward, all the public launches are going to be above 2007 plus. So you and I, we all know, so it's a very open secret. I think everybody is very shocked at how Cindior has actually done his strategy in terms of pricing. So the VIP, VVIP day versus the public launch day, which is on Saturday, there was no increase of pricing. So this is a big, big surprise. Because if you have gone through Chuan Park, actually they raised their prices 4 times. So always remember, the developers, they themselves are also doing business. They are in a business. They are not doing charity or whatever. But how they are able to control their funds, their costs, as well as their profits, nobody will know, right? Even no matter how you guess, no matter how much videos you watch, you are unable to hear it and stand on the developer side to really understand how did they make profits. So if you ask me, will Cindior be making a loss? It will definitely not. But based on track records, we have understand that Cindior has been always a builder. They have their main con everything is they are controlling. So definitely they will have a better margin in terms of what their cost efficiency. And perhaps they are kind enough to distribute that to the consumers out there from the surface when you're seeing it. All right, so this is something that I believe Cindior has done a fantastic job in terms of launching EOK. Whatever strategies they have in mind, maybe it's because they have future plots coming out and they want to clear this out. I mean, these are all speculations, right? So let's not go into that. I think more importantly is I want to take this chance to also take this video to share with you all what are some of the learning points, whether you are busy professionals or homeowner that you intend to usually go for launches, or you want to have a chance or a first shot at launches, right? What are some of the key things that we should take note of? So let me just give you a big overview of what happened from day one of EOK all the way. Actually, there's only one day, right? Okay, let's talk about VVIP and the public day. So this was actually after the VIP and VVIP bulk purchase day. So there was the day when all these priority people will be able to choose their units first. And even on that first day, this is already 47% sold. 47% sold. So this is what we call a priority queue, right? And this is the first time that we have seen so many high demand for priority. All right, so this is unheard of. So Cindior actually make a few records, like in my opinion, after so many years in the business. First, they are the first one who got like 3,000 over checks. That's unheard of. Second, their priority queue is like more than like a lot of people are basically like lost count of how many numbers. All right. So if we can see right from here, what do we mean by bulk purchase? Bulk purchase means you are the first tier relationship. You can buy more than one units together. And not forgetting your VVIP means it's maybe Cindior's partners, their staff. All these things are something that we won't know who are the one involved, or maybe close friends, that kind of situation, relatives perhaps. And then there's always this thing that a lot of people missed out. There's also the agent purchase that is also formed under the first day. All right. So this time round, what I saw even in Chuan Park is that there are actually a lot of agent purchase in those units. Well, be it whether the timing for them to be able to purchase is just nice, then they may have just sold their property, or they are really looking at this tool to park their money like any other investors. Okay, so many times when we have access to certain good units or certain projects that we know that, hey, we can actually purchase this as an investment, many of them will want to go into. So this is a very first time in my entire business career that the priority can close almost to 50% of the units, which is unheard of. Very, very unheard of. Well, so can you imagine when you are the number one, even when you go into EOK, 50% of the units are already sold. All right. So then you'll be like, so even if no matter how lucky you are, your selection has to be quite limited. But at least better than those that are in the thousands or the 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Basically, you can already give up. So this was what happened. And immediately over the time, right? When it was 12 p.m., meaning the first batch or maybe the first 100, 200, and you can see that the numbers jump already from 40 over percent to 60 over percent. And by 4 p.m., it was already 82% so very, very quickly. And for Nava at the same time during then was already 63% so. So Nava actually did extremely well in my opinion. So I underquoted in terms of the percentage. So basically my indication of all the percentage so all incorrect. So let's just say that. Well, let's say is this a projection, right? Projection only nobody's if I calculate it correctly, then y'all will say that I have inside news. So now I'm off, then you will say, "Aya, Edmund Bei Zun." You see, but like I say, it's a projection. It's just to let understand the market and using that as a guideline. So by 4 p.m., right, EOK actually already sold almost 82%. And as we move forward into the late time, right, 6:30, 95% already sold. So actually, the by 4 p.m., actually a lot of the lower floors and mid floors are already gone. So the moment when 6:30 starts, right, 5 plus to 6:30 onwards, people are already starting to grab the higher units. So sometimes we will have our own thoughts, right? Perhaps some of you are already there, and then you're kind of asking yourself, will people buy so high, man? Will people willing to pay so much? Because there's this component of us thinking about if today, if I'm buying a property, if let's say for investment, I will want to go for a lower floor, right? So which is why the lower floors are being snapped up. Then we will keep ensuring ourselves that no lah, nobody will buy the high floor one. The high floor so expensive, wouldn't buy. Hey, but surprisingly, by the time 7 p.m., most of the high floors are already sold as well. You see, and by the time at the end of the day, we have 99% sold. So this was what has happened during then. And today, if you are looking at some of the balance unit right now, okay, now they are only left with only the 1+ study. So even at late night, we were still tracking. Because why? Because the balance units are always the bigger ones. So 4+ study was already sold out way earlier in the mid afternoon or late afternoons already. So which is one of the most popular ones. And then the 4 bedrooms, we keep hearing fully sold, stack fully sold. Like nobody business. It keep going on and on. So until the last stage is mainly the 1+ study as well as the 5 bedrooms. And we were not expecting, okay, at least I am not expecting that the 5 bedrooms are going to be snap up so quickly, because I do have some clients who are going for this and their queue number is actually very late, like 2,000 plus. And yet they can still be able to achieve and purchase the 5 bedroom, because of course the quantum is bigger, the number of buyers are also smaller. So those who are in their 2000 queue, they are still queuing because they need to buy or they want to buy the 5 bedroom. So at least right now, from my understanding, maybe we can take a look at the live uh, information, right? Let's just take a look at what are the leftover units. So we can take a look live here. So this is all. Okay, so this is Emirate Katong, and let's see what are the units available right now. Okay, this is as of now. Okay, so right now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 1+ study left, and you have how many? Oh, no, actually 6, 7, 8, 1+ study and 2 5 bedroom lux. So these are the current available units. So if today you are still looking out for the 5 bedroom, you can actually seek out to us and we can see how we can guide you along with this. All right, so those who have gotten your units, congratulations. Congratulations that you managed to get something. So I also want to take, so basically, of course, everybody already highlighted like what's the average per square foot like. And average 2006, of course, this is across all sizes. But one thing for sure is that every one of us now we will lock in, okay, now EOK is going to be at 2006.21 per square foot. But please understand, when you're looking at headlines, it's not like that when you do research. That means now you start hunting for properties in the east side. And then you say that, well, as long as it's 2006, that means I'm safe. That is one of the biggest mistake a lot of homeowners make, because you are just taking the headline of that per square foot. But if you dive deeper a little bit, okay, if you dive deeper a little bit, you understand that actually there's a different range of pricing. So let us take a look at, so during the day, we have a live chart, right? So of course, this live chart, let me just refresh this. Let's see whether is this still working. Okay, so this is the live chart that we have during that day because they did not raise their prices. So we use this to track and guide our clients on what are the available units, what are the prices, and let us just take a look at the 2-bedroom. So you can see that the 2-bedroom are actually averaging 2008 to 2009 plus per square foot. Of course, these are all the higher floors. Okay, so if you all can see better. Oops. Yeah, I think cannot enlarge too big. Okay. So this way you can see better, right? So you can see the two bedroom premium and the 2 plus study. You can see the stack 04 and stack 05. You can see that the prices actually is not 2006. So sometimes when you're looking at headlines, you cannot just presume that all the other sizes are also going to be 26. The average, that's why they put it average. Also, when you're doing your research, please be careful. And 2 bedrooms are already ranging, even let's say for the mid floor. Let's say we're talking about the mid floor, we're talking about maybe 10 to 12 floor. It's also about 2008 per square foot. 2008 to 2000, yeah, 2008 range, 2007 to 2008 range. So these are all for the 2 beds. But if let's say we look at the 3 beds, then it's very different. Okay, all the 3 beds. So you can see the 3-bed plus study stack 06 and 07. I'm just using this example. Averagely is about 27, 26 for the 14th floor, and then anything below that is already close to anything above is about 2.7 thousand per square foot already. So that is why from today you can see from a pricing perspective, for the 2 bedroom, let's say a mid floor, 10, 11 floor, how much are they going for? But let's also take a look at let's take a look at comparison to the other developments. So let's say we look at Chuan first. Okay, let's just look at Chuan right now. What are the best units that today, if we are intending to go for, what can we go for? Okay, so 2 plus study right now, their average per square foot is also about 2006 plus per square foot. Okay, so that's why everybody go for EOK. But it's just also understand Chuan Park is not harmonized. So that is also something we must take note of. All right, so that's why the sizes are usually a little bit bigger. And if you look at the 3-bedroom right now, averagely is about 2004 to even 2005 plus per square foot range. So this is the units that today, if you are going for Chuan Park, you can use this as a reference. And let's take a look at Nava because there are still balanced units for Nava. Let's take a look Nava Grove, and then we can take a look. So the 2 plus study right now hovering about 2005 plus per square foot. So that's why you must have understanding today when the developers launch their unit and then they put the indicative price. Don't take that as point blank. That may not be the actual price that's been showed for, okay? Because the smaller units that per square foot usually tend to be higher. And if you look at the 3-bed rooms and 3-bed premium, you can see that the PSF starts to come down about 2004 to 2005 plus per square foot. So these are all very clear indication for us when we are doing research. Because today, if you're having a broad view, and I think this is one of the mistakes that a lot of the homeowners make when they are going in for the balloting process, was that you take those developers indicative and then you bite it. What do I mean by bite it? Meaning developer will sure launch this price or even lower. Then, my friend, you are living in your own world because there are certain baseline prices that we can come up with. And if you choose to only believe that it is only going to be lower or it's not supposed to be this way, then you'll be putting yourself in a situation where even if your Q number is the best, you may not dare to pull the trigger because your expectation is totally different. All right, so our role, that's why we have clients who come to us and then they tell us that, you okay? No lah, they will launch at 2004 lah, per square foot. I was like, okay lah, whatever you like to listen is up to you. But my advice to you is don't look at 2004. All right, the minimum should be at least from 2006. That's where our projection comes in, right, based on research and data and everything. But there are some clients, they insisted on what they're seeing that, no lah, it cannot be so high lah. The market is not so good. So there's always all these speculations that sometimes homeowners, unfortunately, you are putting yourself in that situation where even though you actually have an opportunity to purchase a good property, but your expectation is not there, and you end up giving up that chance lah. So sometimes you do need to seek out better advice. Data and numbers cannot lie. Certain directions of the market tells us a certain thing. as the earlier you can accept those things, right, you can actually enter the market with more ease and more confidence. And that's what we have been guiding a lot of clients in as well. Okay, so looking forward, these are the final numbers for all the launches. And of course, Novo please being the EC, I'm not going to count that in as a good gauge. So they are launching their second timer ballot. So if you're looking at EC for the next couple of years, then the second timer balloting, I think will be starting very soon. So you can go for. So looking at this, Chuan Park and Nava, there's still opportunities for you to look into it. And that's where right now you have full transparency of the prices, which is where I personally believe this is where the research really comes in. Okay, pre-launch, there's a lot of guessing, there's a lot of uncertainty. We don't know what's going to be the right pricing, and you are in that incubation situation. You just have to rush to make a decision. So I like to come down and really study the market a little bit more, study the projects available, units available, pricing, before we pull the trigger. Yes, we may not be able to get like the so-called VVVVIP because during launch, everybody presume that it's going to be cheaper, but it's not the case as well. Same like Chuan Park, they always think that, oh, today I need to rush for the launch because I can get the cheapest price. You know, on the public day, the price already went up 1%. That eventually went up 4 times, right? As we all know. So my friend, my role is really not to tell you not to do certain stuff, but based on reality. Okay, based on reality, we must understand it's not that so easy for property. Like, oh, if I queue, my ballot number is the best, that means I can get the cheapest price. That is never the context for balloting anymore. Okay, in the past, perhaps they want to draw your attention. They will give you a maybe 1% discount if you are the first, don't know how many people. But times have changed. That one maybe is, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago, balloting structure. Right now, developers are getting smarter. They are getting more knowledgeable. They know how to move things. You know, besides ballot, there's also placement situations. So there are many different ways that developer cost a shot at. Developer cost a shot. But today, if you're buying in because your thought process is, as long as I go for ballot, I can get a great price, I can get a cheap price, then that thought, my friend, is incorrect. All right. So, of course, during that time when I highlighted about how much units are sold, my projection now, okay, this one for the fun, for the sake of for fun now. So I actually projected 89%. Okay, but wow, Emerald Katong went on to 99%. And for Novo Place, I anticipate 96% because EC, so people may want to just go for EC, but now Novo only 57%. So this one I was way off, way off. And for Nava Grove, the actual was about 52%. I actually look at so I projected 52%. So actually Nava went on to 63%. So all wrong lah, all my projection. But doesn't matter. Like I say, these are all just guidelines, and I see how potentially it can happen. So EOK really, I think everybody's shocked. I think I'm not the only one. So we were monitoring it quite. I mean, we were on the ground, right? So we keep seeing people going in and out, all the units sold. Then we were like, wow, actually Singaporean deep pockets really. Or when the time is right, everybody starts pulling the trigger. Then every project in the market start moving. And my question to every one of you here is, what's next? Okay, very important. What's next? Okay, so likely why the numbers went up also is because there's a lot of VVIP and agents purchase as well. And if you ask me, did I miss this time of the period to purchase a property? You could say so. All right, I just not in time. Okay, so we have just sold out another of our investment, and we are supposed to be buying, but because of the timing, we cannot go for these two projects, unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever how you want to see it. All right, so I'm unable to catch the launch, but did I regret? No, I mean, we don't want to regret based on, oh, because I missed this. Sometimes timing plays a huge part. And that's the also reason why a lot of times we over prepare our clients to do it earlier so that you have a more choices, you see. And in any case, my top choice for the coming new launches, right, is not all these six. Okay, it's not all these six. So it's neither of all these six. All right, so if you want to find out which one is my top choice, right, in terms of the new launches, moving forward from 2024 to 2025, right? Check out my another video. Okay, I have actually shortlisted the top performing one. I forgot the title actually. So go and look out for that performing one. So some of my projections that I did inside quite accurate as of now. So I even have a dark horse project that actually I put up. So quite interesting video that you all should go for. All right. So in other sense, if let's say you're still looking out for some of all these projects, and for future projects as well, do also reach out so that we can do a deep dive based on the situation, your finances to help you out and provide you the first-hand information and updates. All right. So the QR code is there. You can just scan out or just. So we usually do a lot of analysis, and as we go forward for other launches, we will also do it. So do comment below if you find that, hey, maybe there are certain projects that you want us to help you analyze, you want to get our own opinion on it. And as we go forward into 2025 other launches, what are the ones that you find that, hey, you really want to study this a little deeper? Let us know. Put the answers inside the comments so that I can actually prepare them ahead. And if you have not subscribed this channel, please help me so that I can continue be fueled by your energy. Okay, your energy very important. So the question is, why EOK performs so well? Okay, so let me just draw you attention to how we usually do comparison for projects. Okay, so this is one of the key things that today, if you are just going in blindly and you lucky buy something, then that one is guessing your way out. So we like to really study and see, is EOK really a good product for us to go in based on prices? But during then, of course, we don't have the prices, right? So we are basing on an estimate based on the surrounding. So what we did was we actually pull out the entire OCR resale prices, right? Park Clementi's was a resale, and during that time, the 3 bedrooms are already transacting about $2,300 per square foot and can actually accept about 2.48 million. And not forgetting new launch for Jaden, it was going at about 2,500 plus per square foot. So Jaden, right, everybody is talking in the entire market, 2008, 2009, 2008, 2009. But for the 3 bedroom, it's only about 2005 plus. So this is where the disparity comes in. You have to know what you're looking at. It's not the blanket statement that everything is 2008 to 2009. So of course, during that, we have the Chuan Park average pricing. We just use this as an indicator. And you can see Chuan Park, they are starting off is easily about 2005. And I cannot stress, but this is OCR. I cannot stress this, but whatever pricing that was put out, it was OCR. Okay, so then if we compare to the RCR region, okay, averagely is also 2004 to 2008. You can see that when the new launches come in for ABT, about 2006. And these are all, we are comparing 3 bedrooms. Okay, they usually have 3 compact, 3 bed, or even 3 bed premium, or 3+ study even. So there are different combinations. Some got stores, some no store. So we actually pulled out all this comparison to see actually which one is more desirable. So here at One North, being 980 square feet is already going for 2005, but with no store. And if you're going for the bigger ones, then they are at least 1,023 square feet. And these are all not harmonized. They are not harmonized. That's why you can see that the sizes are quite similar throughout all the projects launching during that same time. And not forgetting Tembusu Grand, just besides EOK, during that, when we were doing this research, their 990 was going about 2,300 plus per square foot. Okay, at 2.32 million. No store because of what? Harmonized. Then that's why Cindior very smart. They do a 990 with store and study. Okay, it's to counter people who go for a Tembusu Grand, but if you want to have a study and I'm harmonized, that means I have a little bit more space I can play with. This is why this happens. But if you look at the quantum, okay, and the per square foot, that's when you can see a bigger disparity. So this is also the one reason, right? Today, if you are queuing for Emerald Katong, we're not saying it's not a bad project, but do you compare enough details with the surrounding to say that, hey, whether it's a per square foot or whether it's the overall quantum I'm buying, where am I? Are you on the highest tier? Are you in the mid tier, or are you at the lowest tier? So my role and my team's role is really to get you safer in your entry so that we can exit easier in future, right? And the premium as well, 2.7 million plus already. So this one is to what? Compared to Emerald Katong. Of course, I'm using 2006 as a benchmark. Why? Because during then, we don't have the right pricing, right? So we estimate the pricing should start from 2006, which means the 2006 per square foot will be what? The lowest floor. Okay, lowest floor, lousiest facing. Usually it's like that. And then from there, we will benchmark it against. So for every project that we help our clients to secure, right, there's a lot of homework actually we do beforehand. Not just, oh, you get a queue number, law, then you go there and then you wait. When your number is called, does it fit into your budget? Is it the unit you want, the facing you want? Then you buy. If like that, actually, you can just do it yourself. Why do you need anybody? Okay, you can just do it yourself. All right. So Grand Number, okay, let's take a look at Grand Number. So Grand Number, you can see, let's not talk about the, okay, so the 980 comparable, during then, everybody knows store. Oh, so if you look at this, it's a very clear understanding, should you buy Tembusu or should you buy Grand Number, right? Based on pricing. So these are all transacted prices. Of course, these are all transacted prices that we're comparing to EOK during then, because why? We are comparing so that we can see how much of a support price we have. And their bigger unit is 1098 with store is already 2.714 million. So this is the reason why this type actually is very favorable because of the quantum. So many times buyers, they look at PSF, today moving forward, let me share with you all may also want to look at the quantum, because the quantum wise with harmonization, the PSF sometimes it doesn't make sense anymore. So you want to look at your affordability based on overall quantum. Okay, moving forward. So we actually projected everything is about 2,600 plus per square foot during then. Okay. Oops. Okay, give me a second. Yeah. So for a quantum play, right? Okay, let me clean this one up a little bit so that I can share with you all. So then, of course, if you look at when it actually sold, okay, I'm using a mid-floor 11 to 14 for all types. Okay, I'm just using the 3 bedrooms as a guideline. So you can see the average 3 bedrooms are all about 2,600 plus per square foot from 11th floor onwards. Previously, you all saw the 2 bed and 2 plus study, they are ranging from 2,007 to even 2,900 plus per square foot. So which means our projections for 2006 plus, starting from 2006 per square foot was actually quite close. And how do we derive this? It's not plucked from the sky one. Of course, we have our own research and analytics to understand whether this is the right price that developer would launch, because this is very crucial for you as a buyer. Can you imagine if I never do my homework and I just tell you, oh, sure can buy, I just take your check. Don't worry, they will launch at 2004. I tell you, you'll be like, feel that you're shortchanged, because this may be the number that you already lock in your head that this is how it's going to be sold. And when it launches and come out 2006, you'll be like, how come so expensive? You see, so then that is, if you ask me, okay, I call it misinterpretation. Okay, this is also a form of misinterpretation. That means we did not anticipate or did not project it correctly. Yes, we do not know finally how much developer will launch, but there's also a benchmark price that as a professional, as an agent with the knowledge and experience, you will be able to have a range. It shouldn't be too far off. 2004 is too far off already. Maybe for the bigger units, 2004 or 2005, still can. But if you're talking about average, the 2 and 3 bedrooms, it will never be possible. Okay, and this is highlighted for the 904 square feet. And you can see for the bigger units, this one is a 2 bedroom 689. And if you go for the 990, you can see their per square foot is still hovering about 2006, right? Nothing goes a little bit below if you are going for the lower floors. And the bigger size unit, if you go to 1023, they are still hovering about 2006 plus per square foot. So the context of bigger unit, lower PSF does not equate for every project, every unit, all right? So that's why today you cannot just look at per square foot. Meaning, if today I'm buying a bigger unit at 2004 plus per square foot, then the 3 bedroom, 2 bedroom should be higher. It doesn't work that way anymore because of the sizes of the properties. There's a lot of guidelines right now from the government to control our prices being escalating too fast. All right, so these are some of the things I just want to put it through, that next time if you are going for even a launch, you do need to make sure that some of all these things lock in your head. If not, I think you'll be quite sad every time you go, you spend so much time, you ballot, you put in your check, then after that you take back your check. They don't play lah, not so fun. You also spend time already, so why not do it properly from the get-go? Get a proper advice, what is happening, and then you decide whether do you want to go for it or not. You see, nobody is forcing you to buy, ma. But if you buy, go in with the intention that, oh, it's going to be very cheap, then I buy, then I think that's the wrong way to purchase property. Yeah. That one definitely is speculating. Okay, so there are a few madness that I see lah. There are a few madness. So one of the madness one that I see, right, is somebody who put all three checks. I don't know whether have you all heard of people doing that, or maybe you yourself are also. Okay, no, I'm not pointing at you. Don't worry. Okay, I'm not pointing at you. Okay, so but we do hear people put Champak lah, Navala lah, as well as EOK all together, right? So that's why Chuan launched earlier. So if those who want to buy Chuan, no choice, you have to buy first. If not, will you want to wait for EOK? Then if you wait for EOK or NAFA, then your queue number 3, how? Your queue number cannot make it. That's why Chuan grab the buyers first. But the spillover, still can't buy EOK. That means thanks to Chuan, those maybe actually not supposed to have the chance to buy EOK, managed to buy EOK because some of them already buy Chuan Park. Okay, possible. It's very, very possible. So these are all who put in all three and then they guess which one. But I don't know. This is something that I overheard. There's always a lot of noises in the show flat during the ballot day. Then I heard of somebody willing to give up Chuan Park if their queue number is very good for EOK, even though they purchased Chuan Park already. I don't know. What do you think? Comment in the below. If will you do that? Will you do that? Meaning, I already bought Chuan Park. My queue number is very good, and then I still want to. I mean, I still have a check with EOK, right? So if EOK give me even a better queue number, or I know I have a probability of choosing, I will give up my Chuan to buy EOK. How many of you agree? This is almost like speculating already. But speculating by foregoing the 1.25%, I also don't know. What do you all think? Comment below. I'd like to hear your views a little bit on that. Yeah, but this is what I heard during the ballot day. I heard people doing that. And I don't know how true lah. So if you really know somebody who do that, maybe you can let me know. I was also quite curious what went through their mind on that. Right. So that is definitely when you're putting all three checks. And that's why you see the numbers going from 2,000 to 3,000 over. So most of them are repeat checks. So it's not the real count of real buyers. So in a way, it's very hard to track and determine what is right and what is wrong. So another madness too that I see is they put the check, but actually no intention to buy one. So I also don't know why you put the check for. Okay, I've heard so many times in the launches is they were being pressured. They were being pressured to put in because they already went to see the show play. They just want to see, understand what is it about. Then whoever is on duty just, hey, put lah, no need money, put first lah. Maybe you get a good number, then you decide whether you want to buy or not. Sound familiar? Okay, these are all usually just marketing hype to get you involved. But if you're not prepared to do it, like you haven't sold your property, then how can you buy the property? You see, I don't know how it works. Maybe they have more better strategy than me that I don't know. But I never want to put you in that kind of situation where you have to force to sell in that kind of situation. Or you can buy first, definitely pay with ABSD. I don't know what other ways are there to escape the ABSD. So if you know, please teach me. I also like to learn from you a little bit more. Yeah, so this is something that is kind of important. Of course, madness number 3 is if you put in the check and you get a good queue number, at the end you never buy. Okay, not ever buy, it's never buy. Typo there. Never buy. Okay, never buy. Never buy. All right, so this is something that is also a question mark. Because if today you are falling into any one of this situation, right, you have to start asking yourself, why do you do that in the first place? All right, is it because nobody guiding you, or it's just how you usually operate in terms of purchasing a property? Because what we do, anything is how we do everything, right? And perhaps nobody is really guiding you on what is doing it correctly, or should I say safer? If not, you always have all these kind of expectations that's going to be not helpful. Okay, because today, if you really want to enter the property market, then let's do it properly, right? And let's not gas ourselves into it. Of course, there are some of you who are out there, maybe you really want to buy, and then you get a queue number, wow, super far away, like 3,000, 2,000. Then you're like, I really want to buy here, but I have no luck. That's where the luck comes in. I tell you, this is not about luck. It's a lot of people falling into this tree madness or prevent you from buying, unfortunately. So you should go and score those people. Because some of them really got a good number, good, then they don't want to buy, then they really wasted your chance of buying. So unfortunately, Ballot, that's how it goes. All right, there's no way that we can look into. But are there other opportunities? Yes. So you have to always ask yourself, if today you miss EOK or Nava or Chuan, whichever the project is, right? Are you still in the hunt for property, or you're just looking out for this one? If have, don't have kind of mentality. Because if you are in that situation, right, then you are basically just speculating. Or you're speculating that today, if I can buy this property, then I will consider to buy. But if others I don't want, then that one, then you are not looking into property market well. You are just basing on like the queue for, I don't know what they call it, Labubu or something. I also don't know why suddenly I only know Tamukochi lah. Sorry, my era is Tamukochi lah. Or now what Labubu? All these people go hype, but they buy already. They also don't know what they're going to do with it. You know, that kind of hype is very real. That's why the FOMO situation, it does get into people's skin. If you don't have anyone to pull you out, okay, that one very important. Or let's not count if let's say your numbers are too far away. I mean, what are some of the key things today? If let's say you are in madness number 3, you get a queue number, very good, but you end up never buy. Perhaps the first thing is the unit that you want. Okay, the unit you want, the perfect unit, I always call it. You wanted, wow, I only want this unit, this facing, this floor level. Don't have this one, I don't buy. Okay, so specific. Then you are very unhappy because other people buy it. And you cannot consider the higher or the lower floor one. Say cannot. Different facing also cannot consider. Oh, the facing lah, the floor level lah, you cannot. You say die only this one unit, or even size. Okay, maybe even size. Small differences cannot. Wow, you very, very specific. Or of course, this is one case, or another one is those that you wanted to buy the prices already, but went beyond your means. Okay, so this one very common, very common. Or some of you, when you're buying a property and you already walk out from it, is why? Because sometimes feng shui, lor. Feng shui also does play a part, or maybe your own preference. You don't like the low floor because I don't want to see the greens. I prefer higher floor. But when the prices you cannot achieve, you still hold on to it like, yeah, why I cannot buy the higher floor units? Why I cannot buy the higher floor units, even though there's a lower floor units available for you, but you cannot get over yourself. You see? So please don't fall in the trap of just buying anything. Okay, that is the worst thing. And looking at the balance unit is like whatever left, I already queue so long, I may as well just buy. And that's when mistakes make. Why? The prices, the PSF, all this basically you throw out already because you are there and there's unit, I just buy. Okay, so that's one of the biggest mistakes I always see people facing, and nobody is helping them to manage. Okay, because there's nobody to pull them away, right? So if you ask me, all these things can be managed because these are all our own choices to purchase. And you, as a homeowner, buyer, you definitely have certain preferences that you willing to purchase, whether it's a higher floor unit, different facing, price point. All these are our own choices. But unfortunately, I saw a lot of buyers walk away during this period, right? Whether it's Chuan also the same, every launches, there will always be people, is they expect developer to launch at a lower per square foot or lower price. So, like for example, for EOK, I heard a lot of people was telling me, no lah, why do you put 2006 plus per square foot? No, Cindior very nice one. Cindior will launch at 2003 to 2004. Then they come out their own theory. No, it's harmonization. That's why they cannot launch so high. And they will say that, wow, the market no good lah. Developer lose money. Wow, then must launch cheap because they cannot hold the property. They must sell. If not, they will go bank. Wow, a lot of other theory. I also don't know how come they smarter than me in terms of the theory. You see? So today, can you imagine if we go into a launch? Yes, you want to buy, but you set your expectation at 2003 to 2004. Then when the launch price comes at 2006, 2007, you're very unhappy. You say, Edmund, why the developer don't give us chance? We want to buy one. They should not make so much profit. They should give us a chance to buy property. think question mark. Okay, some of you may be laughing, but maybe some of you are also thinking this way. Okay, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but is it very real? So always remember, developers are still in the business. They are doing business. How can they do charity and then just don't care about their profit margin or whatever ways that they can squeeze their margin? They will definitely transfer to us as consumers, right? But how they transfer, then that's their situation. We cannot. So the question is, who set the expectation of the 2003, 2004? Is it the agent or is it the buyer themselves? No right or wrong here. Okay, well, who do you think, who actually set the expectation? Is it the agent or the buyer? Put in your answers in the comment. So this is also the reason actually the sales actually potentially should have concluded much earlier before the at night, actually before night. But because there are some buyers who have this kind of unrealistic expectations, and they just basically take it point blank that this is the price, and I just believe this is the price. This is the price I should get. They have no understanding of the market. They have no understanding of comparable prices, and that's where the buyers will miss that opportunity just because you don't spend a little bit time to understand better. So, well, if you ask me, other people's mistake becomes your fortune if you manage to buy a property at EOK, to be honest. All right. So congratulations if you have bought something. You bought something I'm sure somebody have guided you, or I hope that you are buying something within your means as well. Please do not overstretch and the unit that you wanted. So this is the reason why today, if you're heading just to any launch without preparation, right, you want to be a little bit more careful, okay? Especially right now with Chuan, with Nava, with EOK's launch, in terms of their SOT, demand is very, very high. The sentiment will increase. And that's where more mistakes will be made, because people will be going to this buying frenzy and then say, oh, the market is very positive already. I want to buy things. You want to buy things, and that's where mistakes are made if you have not done enough of your prep work. Okay? Especially nobody to guide you and who you are. This one very important. So of course, if you ask me, if in this case, I don't think you should even attempt to buy a property, because you're just guessing away launch after launch, and then you just ballot and hopefully you get the queue number one and you buy. Or actually, I also got, later on, I'll share with you a story. Queue number one also walk away. Oh, I have some people who came to me when they're queue number one and then they walk away. All right. So then the question is, those who buy, are they really crazy? Are they really mad? And because if you are there, right, units are really flying off the shelf, and people are buying like nobody business, right? Like scared to miss out. Okay, scared like if I don't buy, other people buy, don't want, I don't let them buy. That kind of situation. So I want to study a little bit of what is actually happening in the market based on this situation. And we all know that actually in the beginning of the year, a lot of the launches are not doing well. Okay. Most of them are definitely even so less than 40%. And if you ask me about a year ago, the launches are not even doing up to even 40 or 30%. They are maybe 20 over percent only, easy. And yeah, so like so what happened right now, why this shift in terms of behavior is largely due to the interest rates, largely due to the interest rate. But is interest rate the only indicator or not? It's not. But interest rates will fuel in what? The demand into the market, that there is a positive signs that, hey, now the market is feeling a little better. Now interest rates drops, meaning my affordability, I am more ready to do it. Because why? If you ask yourself 1 year ago, do you dare to even enter into the property market? Generally, you won't. Why? Because interest rates is over 4%. So you won't dare to even look into entering, you see. But when interest rates come down, this is one of the fundamentals indicator. When the interest rate come down, like, hey, I want to buy, I want to enter. And it's all about timing, right? So just nice when the Fed rates all these cuts in September, and just nice Chuan, EOK, all this mega project, everybody will be waiting, was just nice at this time when the papers are shouting out interest rates coming down, interest rates coming down, and even the latest one, wow, the overseas banks, foreign banks slashing to 2.45%. So all these news together with the hype that, oh, I want to buy something, it makes you more confident that today I can buy property. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? All right. So the question is it is it true that with the interest rate coming down, you should just buy property? It's not only just interest rate, of course. All right, of course, let me share with you from a data perspective, right? Yes, it is very clear that today when interest rates are down, all right, prices and the demand goes up. So this is the fundamental of how interest rate goes. And when the interest rate are higher, okay, when interest rate are higher, it's a little bit more muted, okay, a little bit more muted in terms of the growth. And whenever you have another lower point, right, prices continue to go up. So this is the fundamentals of how interest rate works. But if you're only just starting just interest rates, then that is also a very dangerous area that you want to be at. But because we have been looking at research and analyze the market at different trends, right? We we know how to study this combining with a lot of other parameters. And this situation is very real because why? When the interest rate starts coming down, beginning of this year is still quite high, and everything changes after June, July when Fed rates starts coming in September, and then November another 0.5 cut, right? So that's why even developments are doing better when they launch during that time. Okay, so this is what happens. ABT sold very well, Mayo Blue sold very well. So all this time starts fueling in, and all this pent-up demand fuels up to what? Chuan as well as EOK. So this is what is happening right now. So my projection, okay, with this pent-up demand and interest rate reducing and all this news that the property market will so positive, wow, units sold almost 100%, that kind of news, right? This will definitely drive the market. Why? For the 1.5 years, a lot of buyers wanting to buy property, but they are holding back because of the interest rates. Now with the interest rates coming down and all these news that it's a very positive, people will be jumping in. But I want to warn every one of you, that's where a lot of price traps will be happening. Price trap from where? From sellers, from developers at the same time. They are, again, remember, if you are a seller today, you have a very positive vibe that, hey, the market is recovering, interest rates come down. Will you increase your prices so that you want more people to, you hope that you can get a better pricing because now sentiment is better? So if a seller can do it, a developer can also do it. So please have this understanding. So the question of, we can't stop anybody from increasing pricing because you're a seller also, you also want to get more for your value, right, of the property. But the question is, what entry price is safer for you when you are doing comparison? Like just an example that I show you. So these two launches, right? This, or should I say these 2 weeks launches, right? Really show us how moving forward into 2025 is going to be, because everybody will be splashing it. So do you think other people also will ride on the wagon when they read the papers? Everything's so positive. Okay, so now it becomes a little bit more interesting. Why? So if you just follow, right, you're going to be you're going to be in trouble because you're missing the overall data and numbers to guide you. So let me give you an example. So recently I have my friend who asked me, hey, today OCR are already going like $2,000 per square foot for Woodlands, 2,002 for Lentor, Jurong, and Jurong even can go up to 2,005 to 2,008 per square foot, correct? So then he asked, so where should I buy and what price point of PSF should I enter? Since the range is quite big. So I shared with him that, hey, what if today I can find a RCR, meaning city fringe, nearer to town property, below 2007 for you? And it's not those ulu places. Surrounding, you still have all the amenities, you have good schools around. Will you be worth to explore? You see? So what do you all think? If let's say today you are able to find a RCR property at below $2,700 per square foot with everything that is good enough for a property, right? Will you all even want to consider? Because of course, I'm not talking about EOK. Because EOK nothing to buy already. So no need to talk about EOK. I'm talking about other properties. So this is where your research comes in, right? If today you are just blindly because, oh, I never buy Chuan, I never buy EOK, I don't buy already, you could potentially be missing out on good opportunities out there still. All right. With more launches coming out from this year and then next year as well, all right, you will definitely feel the supply and demand, the demand of it. And if you give it a couple of more months, right, this will start to fill up even faster. So the question is, are we actually oversupply right now when everybody kind of buy, right? then like the number of units, whatever that's been launched, always not enough one. Correct or not? All right. So that's why when we are looking at data, we need to also take that into consideration. Okay, especially if today you are looking at good deals, you are really in the market, but you miss the opportunity because of your queue number, unfortunately. Well, then do reach out to us so that we can guide you through the process and reset everything to see, is this really a time for you to enter the market or it should not? All right, at least you have a second opinion from us. Very transparently, we will share with you yes or no. Then we see how we can move forward. Because today, right, most of the homeowners out there, you may already know where you are at A. Okay, you know where you are. That means, oh, today I want to upgrade myself. I want to buy a new launch EOK because, wow, the location very good. I want to own this. So you kind of know where you are and you know where you want to be because you want to buy EOK, right? But unfortunately, a lot of times when you want to get from A to B, right, there's always some questions that you're always asking yourself. So the first question you always ask yourself is, then what should I buy? Unless you're already fixed, like for example, those who buy EOK, they don't know much stuff, but they just know what they want to buy. But they never ask themselves why they buy it in the first place. They never ask themselves why. All right. So this is where a lot of mistakes will make because today you're buying because of a product. Wow, this product very good. This product is at this location. Very rare. So near to the MRT. So everything that you kind of think of, you just convince yourself lah. Oh, so you no need to nobody argue with you. You just accept, oh, I just want to buy lo. So you just bring me to go and buy. Nothing wrong. That's why I say that if today you have a second opinion with somebody, right? Then you may be able to what, have a better understanding. Because today when you want to get from A to B, and you don't know, if you don't know what you want to buy, and you don't know why you want to buy, uh, or where you want to buy, right? Meaning that there's a big gap. There's a big gap here. There's a big gap here. Because you want to do it, but you don't know how to do it. All right. Last thing is, of course, you don't know how. Because there are a lot of things that today, if you want to enter into the property market, yes, it can be as easy as, oh, I'm familiar with this location, I just buy. I got this budget, I just buy whichever that I can. Nothing wrong with it. That's where 97% of the homeowners in Singapore are buying property this way. But if today you want to support it with a little bit of your data to guide you through that process on purchasing, right? Then that's a different story. Because today, what do you not have? Okay, the first thing that you do not have is you don't have the time. No matter how much videos, research that you do, it's still very surface. If property can be done so easily by just watching a few videos or reading a few blogs or online, just read up, right? Then everybody also millionaire already through property. Okay, then a lot of agents are out of job. Okay, there must be certain things that we have been doing this on day-to-day basis. We are able to actually advise you on. But you don't have the time because you need to work, you need to take care of family, so you don't have time. So whatever research that you're doing is bits and pieces. The second thing that you likely will not be able to have a better overview is because you don't have the resources of all this data. And last thing is you don't have enough access. The data or some of the research that you are doing maybe is already outdated without you realizing, or you relying on URA data, which is also outdated. Whereas a lot of our clients, when they work with us, we are live doing it for you, live showing you what is it happening. And that's how we can help you to execute a lot quicker, you see. So that's why this one whole key thing is that today, I want to share with you all is, you must understand what gap you need so that we can become your bridge to help you get to the next level better. And that's what I want to quickly run through with you. One thing is that today we are actually repeating a very similar situation back in the past. And I want to share with you this, and this is very important. So back in 2018, right, you can see that our property price index is actually very high, close to 10%. And the moment when it reaches close to 10%, right, government will definitely want to come out with policy measures to what? Tame down the pricing. Because it gets a little bit heated up already. So this was back in 2018. I remember 2018, not now. So you don't know what is going to happen beyond 2018. So during that time, you will ask yourself, is it safe to buy property or not? Is it safe? You ask yourself, will you do it or not? Okay. Then second thing that happens during 2018 is So this one you can see from a negative, now everything very positive. Okay, prices went up. So there was a peak price. So ask yourself as a buyer, today when the prices is at all-time high, do you dare to buy property? Okay, that's the first question you must ask yourself. Second question is, during that time, there was China and US trade wars going on, and the economy actually is not doing very well. Again, as a buyer, will you dare to buy? Ask yourself. Okay. Third, our interest rates went high. Okay, incomparable, it already slowly to go up. So interest rate high environment, do you dare to buy? Is it safe to buy? And of course, our inflation during then was also about 1.9% in 2018 period. That's not all. Cooling measures was introduced during them as well. So the question you ask yourself, in this kind of period, should you or do you buy property? So today, if you ask me why EOK or Chuan, is it largely due to the interest rate situation? I will say a majority of them are because they take interest rate as the criteria. I mean, not criteria as a benchmark, like, oh, interest rate come down, I should buy. But if you really want to study more into it, right, whether you bought this probably based on guessing or based on data, that one I leave it to you all to decide. But when we start looking at the property market, right, this has happened before that during 2018, 2019, we were actually at a very high supply situation. Okay, in 2017 and 2018. So when there's a high supply situation, meaning that a lot of properties during then was TOP. Okay, so you have a very high supply. And when you have a high supply, what will usually happen to price? Okay, price usually comes down, right? Price comes down. So that is the fundamental economics, right? When supply is high, prices comes down. And today, with the right data and access, you know that the property supply is going to come down beyond 2021. So today, when the supply comes down to 2021 period, what happened to price when the supply is down? Price should go up, correct? So later on, I'll break some myth and share with you all because we have been studying this a long time and we have access to all this to help you all plan out your timing. So today, ask yourself, if today you are a buyer, you want to reap in the best rewards. Okay, you want to reap in the best returns of your property. Okay, purely from okay, I just want to make money kind of thing. Okay, I don't want to think about other stuff. I just want to make sure that, hey, I can buy at a best price and I can sell at the highest price. That's what every seller's dream. I buy low and I sell high. That's what we want, right? So today, let me ask you, where will you enter? Will you enter at A point to buy a property, or will you enter at B point to buy property? So please take note, at A point 2017 to 2018, right, was the high price period, high interest period, economy not so good period. Were you still there to buy based on your sentiment? Very likely you will not dare to buy because of sentiment. But if you look at data perspective, hey, the supply is high, which means today I may be able to get a good, attractive pricing out there when there's a lot of supply. Does it make sense? Okay, so this is how we use the data to actually guide us along as we are going into the property market. So this is the past. Let me show you moving forward, potentially what's going to happen. Do you see the same trend going on? Right now, are we experiencing a very high TOP during last year and last year period? There's a lot of TOP properties going on. And do you see the same trend reducing? So, my friends, property is a cycle. So, if today, if you want to buy a property, will you want to buy at A point where there's a lot of supply, or do you want to buy at B point when there's a lot of supply? See, so this is where we will guide your people into understanding why is this happening. And this is just one of the other benchmark that we use when we are entering and exiting from a property. You cannot just rely on interest rates. You cannot just rely on supply and demand, because if it's so easy, everybody will just enter when the supply is very, very what? Low ma. I'm sorry, you will enter when supply is very, very high. Then every Tom, Dick, or Harry will just buy property during this period. But that's also not the only indicator. There's other indicators that we develop that we can guide you better, not just only looking at this. All right. So that's why I say that maybe it's a hang thing, maybe it's a lucky thing that a lot of people are buying at the A point right now when the supply is actually there's a lot of supply right now. Then you may be asking me, then, but Edmund, I've been seeing there's so many supplies going on there. Where got uh, 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 is that a low supply situation or high supply situation? So a lot of consumers are confused, and that's when the personal consults come in, because my role is to get you educated in understanding what is actually happening to all these completed properties in future. And today, if we are buying in, how can we look at where's our exit point? So these are all very important or to study look at. So next one, I want to really kind of share with you all. There are so during EOK, right? There are actually 5 different kind of buyers. Okay, 5 different kind of buyers, and so the key thing is that today buyer A, okay, buyer A is like they are ready. Then unfortunately, the number 3 cannot make it. Okay. Then there's buyer B. They put check already. They have no intention to buy actually. No, not serious one. But I don't know why they put it in the first place. So I also spotted another type of buyer. They are ready. They got a good queue number, but eventually did not proceed. And buyer D, of course, they ready, and then eventually they got a purchase. Congratulations. And buyer E, somehow, anyhow, just want to buy. That means you get your queue number. I get queue. Wow. Never mind, I just buy something lah. Anything also can buy. Like can initially say that my top priority is 3 bedroom. Then after that, unit sold. Okay lah, 2 bedroom also, 2 plus study also can. Or then 2 bedroom, 2 plus study sold. Never mind, 2 bedroom I also can accept. Then until 1 plus study also can accept. That's why even at 1 plus study, I can share with you during EOK, right? 1 plus study is the non-moving units until the night. So it only concludes those who cannot buy anything, they anyhow still buy the 1 plus study. Not that 1 plus study cannot buy, but maybe they're out of choices really. But they say, wow, I finally waited for this project for so long, right? I just buy something. Oh, so that's why the kind of situation will happen. Right. So the question is, which stage are you at right now? Which buyer type are you? If let's say you have already went through this process, you can type in the comment so that I can know like where you are right now. So today there are only 2 groups of buyers right now that you all may want to focus a little bit on, and I want to share with you all. Like basically, it's A and C. You have to ask yourself this question. Okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? Because this is where reality really sets in. Okay, whether you are really keen to enter the market, whether have you done enough prep work to enter the market. So for buyer A, right, if today you're out there, right, you're ready, but the queue number cannot help you to purchase a property, then you're like, oh, quite upset, right? I cannot get something. Then could there be other properties or other projects that is better? You have to ask yourself that. Okay. And are you really ready to enter into the market? Or is it because the hype or EOK and transfer good, everybody talking about it? If I don't get this, then I don't buy. Then you are basically speculating. Or because this period right now that you did not get this unit is the best cooling period to you to reassess, do you really need to buy property? So this is the best cooling period. So blessing in disguise, you did not get a unit. But if you are in buyer C, okay, because likely you got a queue number, but you did not proceed, likely because of what pricing issue, maybe the desirable units you want is unavailable. And all these are very understandable because we are, as buyers, we have our own preference one. Like some of us, so some say, oh, cannot low floor. Some say cannot number 4. Cannot something with special arrangement of facing of the directions. I cannot face this direction. All these are very real purchasing concerns, you see. But if you fall into the category, right, that today, if you never buy because of your own expectation that you set because of the prices, like just now I shared with you all the 2003, 2004, but then turned out it's 2005, 2006, right? And you're looking for those kind of very cheap kind of deal, right? Then this is definitely a reality check to guide yourself. If today, are you indeed in the market to really use property as a leverage to help grow your capital and your assets, or you are just gambling and hope that the developers or they will launch it very, very cheap to sell you. Or today, if you are queuing and you already got your numbers, you have a choice to make, but yet you start to have a lot of doubts while you're queuing. Suddenly, as it gets nearer and nearer, you more FOMO. It's like, this development, is it even good to start off with or not? The pricing, is it safe or not? how much will it go up if I buy? Will there be oversupply? So when you start having a lot of all these question marks, right? Then my friend, you have not done enough research. You have not prepared yourself enough. And you're just jumping into the hype like anyone else. Okay, and you'll be like, you're just one of them. Right? So because the moment when you start having doubts of your own intention, you will need to reset the entire process. So because your objectives are unclear, you don't know your why, and no matter whether you go for this launch, next launch, forever, you go for launches and launches, right? Even if you get Q number one, you will not dare to pull the trigger because you still have a lot of questions, a lot of concerns and doubts that you haven't cleared before. So this is where you need the guidance, you need the access, you need the knowledge to guide you through so that you can make this process a smoother one. So there are always two groups of clients that we work with, right? One group is that they already know what they want, but they lack the understanding on why they should buy this property. All right. So this is where we come in. The second group is that you totally are very new in this and you're very worried because you lack the knowledge and understanding about property market. But you want to what? Start learning so that you can get yourself involved with the selection process or to make an informed decision. So this is why our role here is to guide you through. We cannot make decisions for you. We have to facilitate and help you through it. So let me share with you one client that during one of these Lentor launch. Okay, I forgot which development. So actually, this client, I don't know one. I don't know him before, but he called me suddenly one in the afternoon. And then he said, okay, Evan, I've been watching your YouTube and I've been following you for a while. I need your help. Okay, he said. I said, okay, maybe you can share me a little bit of your current property situation. So what he shared really shocked me. He said, I just walked out from queue number one in this XX project, Lendor project, I don't know which one. I was shocked. I was like silent for a while. I was like, wow, is this guy for real? You walked out from queue number one when everybody is begging to have the queue number one and you have all the choices of the units. You have all the time that you can choose the best unit that you have based on your ability. But he walked out. So of course, I was curious, right? So I was like, okay, actually, what happened? So he shared with me that he is ready. He's very prepared. He has been looking at to enter the property market since a couple of months ago, and he has been wanting to find out more. So he's been reading up, watching a lot of videos. But and when he was there ready to pull the trigger, he backed out because he shared two things. First, he said that I don't know whether this price I buy is safe for me. That's the thing that he shared with me. Second, if I buy this price, how much should I be selling in future that is better? So there's a lot of all this entry and exit that a lot of buyers usually don't look into. They just look into my budget. If it's the unit there for me, my facing that I want, the floor that I want, okay, let's buy. They never look at beyond buying this property. So our role is to help project what is going to happen if, let's say, you buy this property. Are you buying it overpricing? So we actually spend the next 3 days to actually condense all our REI method learnings, right? So that they can actually make a better decision. And in the end, did they go to the one that they got Q number one? No lah. Okay, we deem that their project is not so ideal in their finances as well as their current property timeline. We went on to purchase another property instead. Right? And when they bought it, right, they are so confident because we went through so much, right? They really go in with their eyes wide open. They are so confident of their purchase. There's no questions asked because why we already address a lot of them through the education process. And that's how our RA method here is to help you, you see. So today, even if you're unable to purchase Navala, EOK la, Chuan la, for whatever reason, pricing, floor level you don't want, or you just upset the developer did not launch cheap for you, right? Count it as a blessing that you did not buy. Okay, so you need to ask yourself, what's next? Okay, what's next? The next three things that is very important if you fall into category A and C. First, I want you all to really get clear of your finances. Okay, when I say finances, it's not just go to online and then click, my mortgage is how much I can borrow, how much. Go in depth. Okay, you must at least have 4 things to look out for. The first thing, okay, is to make sure that today your mortgage you can borrow. Second, you must have the down payment. Third, your monthly mortgage. Are you able to sustain paying it without affecting your lifestyle? The last thing you want is you buy a property already, then you eat porridge, that kind of situation. Please don't get yourself into it. The fourth thing, okay, very extremely important. What if anything happens to you in the next 2 years? How are you going to pay for this property? Please ask yourself this question. Because if today you are going in with all your money, right, and you don't have a backup, right, it's going to be extremely risky. Not that you cannot buy, but it's just going to be more taxing because we don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years. Even though, let's say you're buying new launches, it's progressive payment, you rather over prepare. Also, I'm a little bit more kiasi, so I rather over prepare for my clients instead of the other way around. Because if not, I'm more stressed. Okay, so that's the first thing for finances. The second thing you want is you must be very clear of the objective of this next property. If you're unclear, reach out to us, let us get clearer and decide whether is this the right time for you to buy. Because today you need to buy a property and you need to look at how long a runway are you going to hold on to this property. Whether it's for own stay, whether it's for investment, you still need to look at the runway. And that's where planning of timeline, planning of holding on to the property to finances all comes in. The third thing, which is the most important, today you did not pull a trigger. Of course, for buyer A, it's because you're number 3. But for buyer C, you did not proceed. There must be something lacking. Likely is the knowledge gap. You don't have enough understanding that you can make a quick decision or a safe decision for yourself. So quickly get yourself updated in terms of property market. All right, get the knowledge, get your research understanding better. So when the time comes again, you can tell yourself, okay, this is safe. I feel very calm, very confident. Let's go and do it. All right, because we don't want to look back. Whatever that has happened really happened. Move forward. Now that you come on this and you learn this, right? I want you to reset everything that you have so that you can what look into property from a different perspective, and that potentially can help you make a better decision and to move forward with another property purchase if you want. All right, so again, I just want to quickly run through like the projections that we have done. So this is the actual percentage of all the various launches so far. Okay, Long Chan already 76%. The collective at One Sophia about 10% right now. Union Square about 20%. And of course, we have our champion Emerald Katong at 99%. So Novo Place at 56% and Nava Grove at 63%. All right, so in my video, y'all can also go and check it out. How we actually guide one of our Chuan Park buyer that eventually we did not go for Chuan Park, and we went on to purchase another one. And our EOK buyer yesterday, over the launch period is the same. All right, so way before we already done enough research that today, if the queue number is not as good, there are other opportunities out there that we should explore into. All right, so today you also want to be in that kind of situation that if don't just look at your lens so narrow into these three projects only. There are better ones out there. Maybe you have missed out or you haven't seen it from another perspective. And if you are prepared and ready, and let us know, we can definitely introduce you something that is based better on your situation as well as the finances. And let's see where the direction heads to. See, because today you need to also be in the right mindset to work with us, okay, and to enter into the property market. So with guidance instead of you guessing your way. So if today you really need a second opinion, whether you are in A, B, C, D, E, doesn't matter. All right, you can always scan the QR code here and reach out to us, and we can see how we can actually progress your property journey in a more structured, safer way. Okay. Sometimes the last thing you want is you buy a property already and then you have a lot of question marks. All right, at night when you sleep, you nudge your wife, your spouse, hey, did we make a mistake or not? Did we buy the right property or not? Okay, so that is always something that it will happen if you have not done enough homework. Okay, so today this video is really to share with you all some of the things that if let's say you're falling into the category where you really want to get something, or not say really want to get something, but you are prepared to do something, but you just have a lot of question marks still and you haven't resolved them. Do reach out to us and we can see how we can get you clearer in the right direction. And as always, if this is your first time watching my video, do subscribe and I'll be very much happy to actually guide you guys through the process of how property is in the future for your own property journey. All right, so very importantly is never guess your way into buying property or whatever balance, just buy lah. Okay, that's one of the worst situation ever. So I really believe that property can be done in a very structured and systematic way that you can be very confident, you can be very aware of how the property market is moving forward to help yourself and your family. All right, so that's why we created the REI method. We create all these channels to powerfully impacting and empowering you all with the right knowledge to make a better decision. All right, with that, I see you guys when I see you. Cheers.